But speaking about the short period of time, the elections, of course, are slated for the 26th of February. And you have heard me from basically day one when the new decree was issued on the 12th of November of last year, the new decree for the election. I indicated that, in my opinion, the decree that actually amended the one of the 3rd of November, that decree was not in keeping with the Constitution of St. Martin. I spoke about it, I questioned it, and just before the change of government, I forwarded a letter to the government asking if the government concurs with my conclusion that the election decree is in violation of the Constitution. And I also asked the new Prime Minister, Mrs. Marlene Romeo, to please answer that letter as soon as she takes office. I asked those questions not as a coalition member to the Prime Minister, but rather as a member of Parliament, in which I drew certain conclusions as to the national decree for the election. And the Prime Minister has responded to me and thus to Parliament, actually confirming my conclusion and position that the decree of the election of the 13th of November, that decree violates the Constitution. So I have received an official letter, the Parliament has received an official letter from government where that is concerned. In its letter, the government also makes mention of the fact that, notwithstanding that conclusion, the process of election is ongoing. And this government now faces that dilemma. What do you do, having concluded the violation of the Constitution? As far as that point is concerned, the Prime Minister, in her letter to me as Member of Parliament, indicated that that will be discussed in the Council of Ministers. I have also, as a Member of Parliament, sent to the Council of Advice a petition for advice with respect to this matter, and a petition to the Council of Advice by a Member of Parliament, even the President of Parliament, needs to be sanctioned by Parliament before it can go. So that petition, that request for advice has not gone because it has to come to Parliament. Parliament has to agree that it should be sent to the Council of Advice, and then that will be done so that we can also have a legal advice outside of the political arena, that we can have a legal advice on this topic. I believe it's important whether we can do something about the election itself, yes or no. I believe it's important that it be established that in this particular decree for election, that the term mentioned in the Constitution has been exceeded, and the question we are seeking to get an answer to is, what does that mean for the process? Could we say, oh shucks, it exceeds the period and we go ahead? Could it have any other ramifications? That's the question. Could it have any other ramifications? If the legal minds say no, was an oversight, sorry, process has started, let's continue, then that could be put aside until someone in the future makes an issue of it. But that it has been established that the decree is in violation of the Constitution in itself is a very serious position to put forward. But in the meantime, no decision has been taken about the election not taking place. So all preparations and whatever else needs to be done is ongoing, as you have undoubtedly noticed from all of the political rhetoric that you're hearing all over. But I just needed to put that forward, that response has been received by Parliament.